We've been covering the supposed bankruptcy of InfoWars conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. This is a very complicated topic which involves Alex Jones being the target of multiple lawsuits and presumably going in the direction of him owing people a bunch of money, including parents of the victims of Sandy Hook. And interspersed with this, I told you a couple of weeks ago that Alex Jones has declared bankruptcy, and we and others immediately questioned the timing of the bankruptcy and, of course, the useful nature of a bankruptcy. If you're trying to avoid paying anybody, one of the great things to do is to say you don't have any money. Well, now Alex Jones is actually bragging about $2 million donations that they've received. He says now they have $5 million in the bank. And this is something that, to me, seems like it would be very interesting to the bankruptcy trustees. Take a look.
Guess what? You must have made the donor mad. I don't know who they are, where they are. They could be in Japan, could be in the U.S., could be who knows where. But I appreciate them. Whoever they are bought hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin at a lower price back in 2016, never spent any of them, and is now giving us $1 million of Bitcoin. And you must have upset them, whoever they are, because, oh, sorry to the left and the globalist, they gave us $1 million more on Saturday. Let me break that for you while you sit there and say we're covering it all up and hiding it in bank accounts and all this crap. So,
I mean, you don't even need a bank account to hide Bitcoin to actually.
We no longer have $3 million in the company, barely enough to make payroll and operate and buy product. We now have $5 million. And we, guess what? You must.
So I'm sure this is something the bankruptcy court would be interested in, bankruptcy trustees, the trustee overseeing the Sandy Hook parents case. The Sandy Hook families would be very, very interested in hearing about this. You know, I sat next to one of Alex Jones' former attorneys on a flight recently. I talked about this on the bonus show, or maybe it was on a live stream. I don't think I've mentioned it on the podcast. No attorney-client privilege was breached because it was publicly known that this lawyer represented Alex Jones at one point. It was quite a conversation. And, Alex Jones, on the one hand, has a whole area of controversy related to what counts as free speech. And that's controversial enough. And when does the speech become defamatory? And all of these things are kind of being legislated right now. The other side of this is this very strange and suspicious bankruptcy. And I don't doubt for a second that the bankruptcy isn't justifiable in some way. But the timing is just so suspect. And now bragging about having $5 million. Now, if you went to him, he would go, for us, $5 million is borderline bankruptcy because our payroll is so high and our costs to produce all these various supplements is so high. I don't even know whether the supplements are actually, some people, when they do products, they don't buy a bunch of inventory up front. They're just kind of produced and shipped on demand, drop shipping. Anyway, we don't know the nature of that business. But he would say, this is just barely enough to fund our operation. It's not like now we're flush with cash. We certainly don't have any money for the Sandy Hook families. But this all stinks to high heaven, and it continues to point in that direction. And quite frankly, I don't know what the end game is. I don't know if Alex Jones genuinely believes that these manipulations when it comes to the bankruptcy and having cash and not, and Bitcoin donations and all of it, I don't know. The other thing is whether there's someone wrote to me and said Alex Jones seems confused about whether they got $1 million in Bitcoin or whether they got 1 Bitcoin. Now, I could he really be confused about that? I don't think so. Now, if he knows the value, listen, I have absolutely no idea, but it would be an extra funny thing on top of all of the scam that's being run here if he actually got 1 Bitcoin and not $1 million in Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin worth about 30, 35 grand at this point in time. I don't know what the future of this is, but it all stinks, and the grifting and the scamming continues. Let me know your thoughts. You can find me on Twitter at dpacman. We have a packed Friday show for you today. Science has shown us that lowering your body temperature at night improves sleep in many ways. Our sponsor, Chili Sleep, creates systems that cool down your bed, promoting deeper, higher quality sleep. It also just feels great. I use it at home. I'd recommend it to anyone, and I've recommended it to some friends who now use it as well. Chili Sleep's product, the Uller, the Cube, and the Dock Pro, they're all water-based, temperature-controlled pads that fit onto your existing mattress. You can keep your bed as low as 55 degrees, as hot as 115 degrees. I like 60. Their new Dock Pro sleep system has double the cooling power of other models, 5 times the cooling contact, whisper quiet. You can control it with your phone. It's awesome. With Chili Sleep, there's no more feeling hot at night, no more sweating. Cooling your bed down like this is amazing. You really have to try it for yourself. When you go to chilisleep.com/Pacman, you'll get 30% off the Uller and Cube sleep systems and 10% off the new Dock Pro. This offer is only for my audience. The link is down below.